With economic anxiety high, many criminals took advantage of the COVID-19 pandemic to steal from the public. Welcome to today's episode of Fraud Files. Today, we will be talking about a case of a California man who was sentenced to 11 years in prison for engaging in a $27 million PPP fraud scheme. To get all the details in this story, make sure you watch till the end, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to become part of this channel and click the bell icon to get notified of our subsequent videos. Let's get started. A man from Southern California was sentenced to 135 months in prison, which is the equivalent of 11 years and 3 months, for submitting false Paycheck Protection Program applications, lying to a financial institution, and money laundering. On March 28, a federal jury found 53-year-old Encino resident Robert Benlevy guilty of bank fraud, making false statements to a financial institution, and money laundering. Court records and testimony given at trial indicate that between April 2020 and June 2020, Benlevy applied for 27 Paycheck Protection Program loans from 4 banks on behalf of 8 companies that were solely owned by Benlevy. Benlevy requested $27 million in forgivable Paycheck Protection Program loans through the applications, which the Small Business Administration guaranteed in accordance with the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Securities Act. Despite knowing that his companies had no employees or payroll costs, Benlevy falsely claimed that each of his businesses had 100 employees and an average monthly payroll of $400,000. The additional evidence demonstrated that Benlevy submitted fabricated IRS documents falsely, claiming that each of the companies had $4.8 million annual payroll. 3 of Benlevy's businesses, One Stellar Health LLC, Best Ways 2 Health LLC, and Joyous Health 4U LLC, received $3 million in Paycheck Protection Program funds as a result of his fraudulent loan applications. The evidence revealed that, despite Benlevy's deceptive claims, the money requested through the Paycheck Protection Program loan applications was actually used for personal expenses, including cash withdrawals, credit card payments, transfers to other personal and business accounts he owned, and the rental of an oceanfront apartment in Santa Monica. Special Agent in Charge Jeffrey D. Pitano of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporate Office of Inspector General, Assistant Attorney General Kenneth A. Polite, Jr. of the Justice Department's Criminal Division, Acting U.S. Attorney Stephanie S. Christensen for the Central District of California, Assistant Director Luis Quesada of the FBI's Criminal Investigative Division, Acting Assistant Director in Charge Amir Esai of the FBI's Los Angeles Field Office participated in the closure of the case. The case was looked into by the FBI, SBA OIG, and FDIC OIG. The case was prosecuted by trial attorney Justin Givens of the Criminal Division's Fraud Section. The COVID-19 Fraud Enforcement Task Force was established by the Attorney General on May 17, 2021, to coordinate the Department of Justice resources with those of other federal agencies in an effort to strengthen the fight against the prevention of pandemic-related fraud. By enhancing and incorporating current coordination mechanisms, identifying resources and techniques to uncover fraudulent actors and their schemes, and sharing and utilizing information and insights gained from prior enforcement efforts, the task force supports efforts to investigate and prosecute the most responsible domestic and international criminal actors and assists agencies tasked with administrating relief programs to prevent fraud. Anyone with knowledge about claims of attempted fraud concerning COVID-19 may contact the National Center for Disaster Fraud hotline. Taking action against Paycheck Protection Program fraudsters. The U.S. government authorized nearly $600 billion in forgivable loans to small firms through the Paycheck Protection Program. Loans were given out in 3 quick waves between April 2020 and May 2021 for other expenses and job retention. If firms use 60% of the loans for wages and the interest on a mortgage, rent, and utilities, they can be totally forgiven. However, some companies made an effort to receive the funds fraudulently and utilize them for activities that were not intended to be covered by the program. False statements, loan stacking, which is applying for Paycheck Protection Program loans from several lenders, using the loan funds for improper or disallowed uses, and making false statements during Paycheck Protection Program loan audits or fraud investigations are all common ways that Paycheck Protection Program fraud is conducted. The Department of Finance at the University of Texas at Austin recently published a study that concluded that more than 15% of Paycheck Protection Program loans, or roughly 1.8 million of the 11.8 million Paycheck Protection Program loans, had at least one sign of probable fraud. Additionally, according to the researchers, $76 billion in Paycheck Protection Program loans were illegally obtained, accounting for close to 10% of the program's budget. The biggest percentage of dubious Paycheck Protection Program loans was among fintech lenders. They were making about 29% of all Paycheck Protection Program loans, but they were also responsible for more than 50% of the dubious loans they made to borrowers. Task Force for COVID-19 Fraud Enforcement. The COVID-19 Fraud Enforcement Task Force was established by the Attorney General in May 2021 in an effort to combat Paycheck Protection Program fraud. The objective is to mobilize the Department of Justice's resources in collaboration with other federal agencies to support initiatives to combat and prevent fraud linked to the pandemic. Late last year, the Unemployment Insurance Program and the Paycheck Protection Program loan fraud were investigated by the Secret Service, which led to the seizure of more than $1.2 billion and the recovery of more than $2.3 billion in unlawfully obtained cash. This is a small drop in the huge $600 billion bucket, though. And here we come to the end of today's episode of Fraud Files, regarding a California man who was sentenced to 11 years in prison for engaging in a $27 million Paycheck Protection loan fraud scheme. Please subscribe to our channel and push on that like button. Stay tuned to our channel for amazing videos like this one by clicking the bell icon. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section below about this event. We'll see you in another Fraud Files soon.